Hey everyone, Bright2J back with another episode of Yay Toys, and today's review is going to be on the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Shazam figure. Picked this figure up last week, and he looks really nice on my shelf. So with that being said, let's check out Shazam. So before I get into the figure, the first thing I want to talk about is the packaging. Mezco always hits a home run with their packaging. They do the collector-friendly boxes. So you got the lightning bolt on the front, and you get promo images on the back, and of course lightning bolts on both sides, stuff, 112, you get the sleeve, and then of course the same promo images, and all the same stuff that you get on the sleeve, and then inside, the really cool artwork. And then in there would be the tray showing you all the accessories and the figure. So I'll start off with the accessories. So first things first, you got the 112 display base. Some nice yellow paint for the lightning bolt. Bright red base, looks really good. And of course you got the flight stand. And how that works is, basically you would pop this out here and plug that in, and you could get them in all the flight posing that you want. And then it's articulated here, here, here. This opens, and then you could swivel. So a lot of good articulation with this. And especially for a character that can fly, this is very well needed and very useful. He comes with the Ziploc bag for those that do not keep a box. I always keep the packaging for a figure like this. But it's cool that you get this. You do get, and I'm totally blanking on what his name is, but it's really nice. Very, very great sculpt. You do get the indentation like he got punched. There's black wash over this eye, like it's broken, but it's also it's a translucent plastic. So that's cool that like it looks like this eye is like now not working. Some nice gold paint up top here. The wires look really good. And then one thing that Mezco did that they didn't have to is that this swivels. So it's almost like the robot had, articulation if there was a full figure. So that's really cool. Again, they did not have to do that, but they went above and beyond and did so. And you got Mr. Mind in caterpillar form. I don't know much about Mr. Mind, but I do like the sculpt. Some nice paint apps on this. And the antenna look really good too. Just be careful. You don't want to, go too hard because these look like they can break. So just be careful. He comes with a couple of sets of hands. So first thing, you got the grip hands. And then you got a set of flying hands. And what I think is cool is that you get the left hand has the finger pointing up a little bit. So yeah, looks really good. Then you get a couple of sets of heads here. So you got the head that would be when he's becoming Shazam. And then you got this head here with the grin, because Billy's always grinning. Because he's a kid, but from what I remember in the comics is that he's always grinning. These both came out really nice looking. The final accessory you would get with them would be the translucent blue lightning bolt. And then this is what he'd look like when he's becoming Shazam. So this came out really nice. Now, before I get into Shazam's articulation, there's one thing that I do want to mention, and that's Mezco was starting to because I know they had a lot of issues with capes, like how on the Batman figures the cape you had to like use the wire system, as did the Batman vs Superman figure. For Shazam, though, there's wiring in the cape. So I knew Mezco was planning on doing that, and it's really great that this is just an example of what's to come later on. And this looks really good. And it just drapes over them really easy, too. Like, you just really simple, go on, and comes off. Height-wise, since he's a 112, he's going to stand a little over 6 inches. And, yeah, he's, like, almost 6.5. Body scale-wise, this is a prime example of what the classic Superman's body is going to look like. The sash is a regular fabric. There's no wiring in there. It's just there. But it doesn't get in the way, which I think is great. He does have the nice gold lightning bolt that they kind of did the same process as they did with like the Daredevils, where it's glued on there very well. And or actually no, Daredevil's was kind of just like embedded, but this is glued on. It came out really good. This is not a button, so don't try to pull this forward. As for articulation, his head is on a ball peg, and so is the neck, so you get all the proper range of motion that you would need. His arms can go out all the way. I do advise that you do not spin this around because you don't want to stretch out the fabric or fray it or whatever. But he does have an upper bicep swivel, and it feels like they sculpted in a vein, and actually kind of looks like it too, which I think is really cool. They did give him double jointed elbows. The gauntlet rotates. The wrists are on a hinge and a swivel. You do get a really good amount of diaphragm articulation. There's no waist articulation. At least I don't think so. It's always hard to tell with the fabric. No waist articulation. He does have the splits where they go out about that far. Any further, you risk ripping the seam, so be careful. Nicely sculpted definition on the legs, though. I could see it protruding. He does have an upper thigh swivel. Kicks out forward. Back about that much. Double jointed knees. The top of the boot does rotate. And he does have a decent amount of ankle movement. And they're getting better with the pivoting. It's going to be a slow process with Mezco, but they're working on it. But yeah, that's all the articulation that he has, and that's plenty. It really is. It's plenty. Now, as for swapping out his pieces, it's pretty simple. As you saw, that the head was on a ball peg, so like we're gonna give him the transforming into Shazam pose there. So like, again, that looks really good on him. And then what you want to do with the blue lightning, just kind of grips on like so. If you want to give him the cape for the full effect. That looks really good. And so you want to just have him grin. And we'll see, we'll get the grip hand. They pop off really easy. New hand goes on pretty easy. And then you could have them grip the robot. Just got to find the right angle to have them grip it. Yeah. Like if you want to just have them kind of stare at it. Oh, popped off the hand while I did so. But yeah. I might not be able to get it to work on camera. Oh, actually, there we go. So you see, he can grip it. So that's pretty cool. It's just a little top heavy. Let's see, what about Mr. Mind? Yeah, I mean, he can grip the caterpillar, so, you know, the grip hands do work. Yeah, I mean, I think this figure is great, especially because, you know, like, he's a classic comic book character. You know, I remember him in the, was it Batman vs. Superman Public Enemies comic, from a while back? Like the, like, late 90s or early 2000s, maybe like 2001 or so. But, no, I'm sorry, it was more like, 2004. But yeah, it's Shazam. He's a iconic DC character, and it's a great figure to have in the collection. You know, he may not be JLA, but he's in that iconic period, I guess. Well, that's about it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. You could find this video on my YouTube channel at Yay Toys. You could also find this on InnerCityGeeks.com, as well as my Facebook page, Scream Yay Toys. If you haven't subscribed to me already, please do, and definitely hit that like button if you did like it. You could find me on social media. I'm on both Twitter and Instagram at BRI_2J. And I'm also on Instagram for the toy channel at Yay_Toys. With that being said, that's it, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.